Several things we should discuss as we get towards this is the priorities for a flying change. To walk and go from a semi-collected canter to a semi-collected walk and stay relatively up on the bit and stay through. So you don't have the horse, when you go to collect him, want to run away from the leg or rip your arms out or not go at all or want to stop on you. So there's a good rapport between the bit and the hind leg. There's not a freezing action between the bit and the rider's leg or the hind leg of the horse. So when I ask the horse to change in a collected canter, and I'm assuming this horse is up and into the bridle and the bearing is correct and so forth, he isn't going to violently run away because I've asked him to do something. His balance is in such a way that he can do this.
I think that's a quite balanced counter lead, I would say. I mean, you know, it's a little bit, he loses a little tiny bit his connection in the turn here. So maybe see if you could get him just a little bit more looser over the neck, Mary, on the counter canter. Just a little tiny bit more, a little deeper maybe in the paw for just a moment. But keeping your leg on so that he still meets your rein in front. And don't let the front then run off away without the hind. That's better. So you really, what you have to do is just before you enter the turn and the curve, half halt just a little bit, but use your leg in your half halt. I think the canter is improving very much with that. And then maybe you can do a walk transition and then counter canter to the other side.
Think forward, good girl. Forward, forward, don't drop your legs, forward. As you saw there, it took a few seconds for the horse to take the driving aids in the transition, and she waited, instinctively she waited with her leg aids. And that's the correct thing to do. If she was to ask too soon, she'd end up teaching the horse to back away from the bit and in turn fall on his forehand rather than waiting. So you can see he's getting better now, even a little bit better there. She could ride him now a little bit more forward in the walk to get him to come again more through. Okay, when you're ready, are you brave to try a flying change? Oh, boy. Where you normally do this, because we don't know the horse, and we'll help you get through it. Good girl. Praise him a lot. Keep going. Don't stop. Don't stop. No cheating. Okay, when you're ready, make a transition back to the walk again. Now, in the process of teaching, which Mary is in the process, forward, the process of teaching this, and you may find yourself in the beginning going from true canter to true canter, but later you may have to go counter canter to counter canter because the horse is going to learn to anticipate. Slow. Forward. Yep. Only forward. Only
yeah,
through
just
the
let's get the counter canter first balance, because if they sit there and they're not connected from behind in a way, it's no use to do a flying change.
He's thinking about it, Mary. So when you feel he's ready, go ahead and ask him. Aha. He was thinking for you. Pat him a lot. Good girl. Pat him a lot. Good girl.
And before we saw that the horse was switching behind before he did the front. And I tell you, I have that much rather, 10 million times rather, than if a horse throws his front end around rather than the hind. So if a horse switches behind, most of the time you get better changes.
That's absolutely correct. And you notice, again, Mary has evidently done this once or twice before, is that she immediately pushed the horse forward. He did a flying change behind here, and she went 2 or 3 more miles an hour forward and says, look, come on, let's go. Training the hind leg again only to go towards the bit.
To the correct lead. from correct lead to correct lead, rather than from the counter canter to the correct lead.
So you certainly would never start teaching a horse tempi changes because he can do counter to counter, he can do flying changes. He doesn't have the correct effect of the aid on the horse, the changes are not balanced, the horse loses his balance too much. You'd have to just wait it out and play with this. There's a lot of praise, a lot of riding forward. He was ahead of you. You see, it's really a little bit too soon to do true lead to true lead. Better to do counter to counter. Or you can mix this up when you have this problem. Come back to the trot. Mary, come back to the trot. Only think forward. Don't go to the hand. Soft to your arm. Good girl. Now, whoa, whoa, whoa. Good trot. You can see the trot is improved too, huh? There's a lot more cadence in the trot. Change the rein. Someplace. Stay in. When you come to the corner, give him the left leg when he wants to do that. Make a diagonal change and pick up your right lead. You can mix it up like this, or you can step in off on the wall. Lots of times I come in off on the wall about 2 or 3 meters and come back to the trot, pick up the opposite lead, trot, canter a few steps, come back to the trot, pick up the other lead again, and then go back to the flying changes again. Makes him listen and wait to the half halts, and it gets rid of that tension that usually comes when you teach these things. Make the serpentine. Continue. And again, turn right at the letter V. It's a 3-loop serpentine. And as you do this particular exercise, and you can actually feel the horse begin to accept the driving right leg, which keeps the canter, and the controlling left leg and the left rein. And the acceptance of those aids are going to promote the next choa, which is the flying change again. Go ahead to the right, and then gently to the left. Turn left, gently. So you are acquiring a greater acceptance of the aid by applying this particular movement. As you can see, there's a little more reliability within the horse's concept of keeping the outs, the counter canter. So if we were to ask this horse to do a change right now, which we're going to, come across the school, and when you're ready, do a flying change. Now, he's not expecting a flying change, and she should have her legs close. And it was quite relaxed, very forward. So the effect of the aid was improved by doing that particular exercise. So the horse being a little anticipatory about the flying changes, it totally went away. When you're ready, make a circle there, but don't make a circle. Turn left at F and head towards E, and between F and E, a flying change. Stay close. Remember the connection of the aids.
You see how Michael kind of switched back and forth a little so that the horse never knows where it's going to do it.
Take a break. Whoa. You see, you're really working the mind of the horse, huh?
As soon as you feel them changing their lead behind, try not to just chase them, because really in that moment, you're leaving the hunches out even farther. So what you try to do is you try to ride the hind end forward, not letting the front end totally run away. Feel that you keep your connection. If it doesn't happen, bring them back into a down transition, put them back onto the lead you wanted, and continue and try it again.
When I give the aids to change, I give my flying change aids when the horse lands on the third beat. When he lands on the third beat, that's when I use right seat, right leg, and right rein. Those are my aids. The horse is here, the other 3 legs are in the air. I say, okay, now, change. I slide my new outside leg back, and these go forward. But they stay upon the body of the horse.